when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes.
Maybe that's the real punk rock.
You die, I die.
You got life! Cowhide. Synthetic cowhide.
He's flying.
Scooby-Doo-Doo.
Are you watching closely?
All right. What I was going to say was the last time we were on was the Nolan Cinematic Universe, which I actually had a lot of fun.
That one turned out to be a lot more fun than I thought it was.
I know.
Low key.
But anyways, sorry. Before we get into that, I have something to show you guys, and it's a
oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember you
I don't
saying
know how
that.
loud it is in the microphone, but it's the zip string Arachna. I don't know why it's disappearing.
Nice.
But yeah, I've been doing this all day, a couple days now. You guys know the zip string, right? It used to be just a handheld thing that does cool effects when you can't really see it. But then they made a wrist-mounted one that just has a hand palm button, and so now I've been walking around with it on and shooting Anya in the face. Because it's safe. It's
parental abuse.
As you should.
It gets jammed sometimes, but yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna stop with that. I just had to show it off. It's so fun, and I've never. Besides Legos. Oh yeah, and then it retracts. The retraction is so cool. Anyways, I don't get toys outside of Legos, which Legos are actually adult toys anyways. Spider Seth just got done going on Spider-Man. Oh, Spider-Man Across the Universe binge, multiverse, I assume. Fun.
Well, speaking of Spider-Man, we got to do an episode on Spider-Man, don't we? Because I just got an AMC membership.
Oh,
so
yes, we still need to do.
I'm going to go watch it.
Josh, I don't know how free you are nowadays, what with getting married and all. Also, Josh is getting married, everybody. I don't think we've ever announced that, but
guys,
hey,
27 days. Who's counting?
But with all your free time, we should get you on more. You're not doing school anymore. Eventually, you'll not be planning a wedding. Let me tell you, post school, post wedding, it like lightens up so much more.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Just until you have a kid, then it crashes.
Yeah.
But we do have the state of the franchise episodes coming up here. Watching this with the whole family. Watch it, boys. Elijah's watching this with the whole family. Watch your
wow.
Oh boy.
No pressure.
Hello,
Sorry,
hello,
Mom.
Elijah's family.
Hi, Elijah's family. We should. Well, we've talked about multiverse and not multiverse. Spider-Verse in a different episode. I believe that was actually a two-parter because we went so long on it. But then we will probably talk about it once Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out, which I found the leaked trailer and posted it in our Discord, so go watch that there. But State of the French Fries coming soon. Food reviews.
State of the French fries?
Ihounder wants us to do State of the French Fries. I do love the comparison across fast food stuff, like which one's best. But
it's a curly. Anything beyond curly is not right. Also, random thing I just learned over my internship is that apparently cheese curds are very much a Midwest delicacy. I did not know that.
Cheese curds are a Midwest delicacy?
Yeah, they don't have them. Like we have people out from California. They're like, "What is this?"
That's so funny.
Thing. It's like cheese.
What is cheese?
What is cheese?
Cheese. Cheese.
I guess we didn't know how to
Isn't that the Wisconsin mascot?
Yeah. So, Josh, if you want to talk about Spider-Man, we're going to mostly be talking about that in our State of Marvel. However, D23 just happened, and we'll also be talking a lot about that. And
there's a lot.
I'll give a spoiler. Not a spoiler. You know everything. But my spoiler take is that we might be back. We might actually be back. So we'll
I haven't seen him yet. I am a little bit excited. I think of us four, I've been the most checked out of Marvel, but I think I'm a little bit.
Will has said that he's pretty checked out.
I intentionally checked out after Endgame because I knew that they were going to eventually reach a point. And I'm more of like the, oh my gosh, they're just all these fans who are just like, oh, we're back. Or no, now we're doing it over. I'm just like, no, we need to be over and let it be over. It's let the relationship end.
Ellie says Will doesn't watch movies anyway, so it doesn't matter.
For the record, I have watched actually quite a significant amount of movies over these last few months.
Yeah.
So I probably haven't ever.
Will, we are getting disconnection fuzz, and it's what iHonder says. Will's breaking up like crazy. So it's you and it's not us. So I'm sorry if that.
I'm back
I'm
to
just gonna blame you.
a home Wi-Fi rather than nice intern house.
I don't know if it's your.
Wi-Fi,
It feels like whatever
Feels like a
input
mic
you're using
static.
isn't plugged in all the way or something, like an old 2008 wiggle the cord type of thing.
If you wrap it around your neck and tighten it, usually that hurts.
Hey now.
Try that, I can't. I'm too stiff.
Okay, so I was looking at our private schedule, our spreadsheet for our plans. It's been all over the place because we didn't really know when Stephen Stanley was coming on, and then I didn't know when Josh was seeing the Odyssey. So we're like a month behind on everything.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. So we do have the 3 State of the Franchise episodes next. Those will be fun. I usually just put Zach on them and Isaac on Star Wars. I actually need to reach out to him, see if he's down to do that. Also, I realized, I think way back in 2023 is when he wanted to do the Aragon episode in 2027. And I'm like, that's next year already. That felt like so long ago when he started, or when he brought that up. But we might get to do that next year if we're still doing this. Anyways, look forward to that. We're already 10 minutes in and we gotta talk about the Odyssey here pretty quick. Also, my sister is gonna arrive not any second, but soon, and then she wants some takes on. She wants to give some takes on the Odyssey. So, Josh, I know you're trying to fix stuff.
No, I'm not fixing anything.
Oh,
Nothing's
what are
wrong.
you doing?
I'm putting the live stream up right there.
Our Inception.
Yeah, and seeing if maybe it'll show up.
That'd be so funny. At least as long as it's muted, I don't care.
It's on YouTube, right?
Yeah. And you're subscribed, right?
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm not subscribed to my own YouTube channel.
What? You're not subscribed to the?
No.
Am I the only one here actually?
Yeah, because I don't actually. Dude, I produce everything. I don't need to know when I post it because I post it. I hit post.
It's like liking your own
you could be
post on
subscribed to your
Instagram.
own
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah. All right. So I
We
don't
could
know.
have 2 more subscribers right now just by 2 of our hosts subscribing.
There we go. I see us in the back. I'm gonna clap and see what the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh my goodness.
9,
6, 7.
10, 11.
Hey, I'm still navigating
13,
the menu.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
There goes my
19,
hand.
20, 21, 22,
23.
23 second difference, at least for me.
Yikes.
Guys, you're seeing the past right now. Sorry,
That's so
you're
funny.
behind.
I've been thinking about writing a thesis for fun. It'll be about how every great movie has a formula that's closely aligned to Jesus' story. I think that's a great idea. However, I think it's been done. You do it in your own way. I don't care. That'd be cool. But the foundation or the inspiration for this podcast originally was Frank Turek's Hollywood Heroes, basically walking us through Luke Skywalker, Harry Potter, Gandalf, and Frodo, being able to see parts of the gospel or Jesus in. Hey, Zach's got it right there on hand.
I haven't read it yet, but I have it.
Yeah, that's what started my thoughts about this. Thinking about talking about all of the connections that we can make, and why good movies and good stories resonate with us. But good idea. Speaking of that, this is story of the Odyssey. First off, the reason I've gathered you all here today is because it is the most recent Nolan Bros episode, Nolan release. The last one we did, or not the last one. The last time a movie was released by Nolan was Oppenheimer, which Zach was not a part of the Nolan Bros back then, and we need to do an Oppenheimer revisited at some point. We're actually going to do a bunch because Zach wants to talk about I want Zach to talk about Oppenheimer. I want Zach to talk about Prestige because you like that really.
I love that one.
Yeah, and that was our first.
I want to be on the Tenet episode too.
Okay, and then we're gonna do Tenet again, even though I think you were already on that one. But your friend is coming on.
No,
one, I believe. No. Oh no, you weren't.
I was not on the. No.
That was the 19th episode of all time, released March 24th, 2023. Wow. Anyways, yes, we're gonna do some revisited here, but. Let's go. I'm going to steal this from my Honda. Let's go on a journey, or shall we say an Odyssey. It's crazy that Odysseus went on an Odyssey. That's kind of convenient for him. William found it funny. I heard him chuckle. No, I heard nose come out. I heard air come out his nose. Don't laugh at that.
I mean, I'd be concerned if there wasn't air coming out of my mouth, but you know.
No, it's that type of joke, you know. Just the yeah. Anyways.
You ought to see this movie, guys.
Yeah, Odyssey. Odyssey this, Odyssey. Yeah. And I didn't even see Mr. Whitaker in it.
I'm gonna say my hot take
Only
here.
schools and private schools are gonna get that. Yeah, I want to.
Josh, go for it.
I don't think this was a very good movie.
Okay, I understand.
Fight me on it.
Well, okay, I convinced
probably
Zach
won't.
to knock down his Odyssey. Okay, this was because Zach had a lot of criticisms of it, and he had it at number 2 of his yearly ranking, and I'm like,
and at
it just doesn't
4.5
match for me.
stars, but
And you had it at 4.5, but you bumped it down. So it's one of those that, especially I felt good about it watching it. Like I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun experience. And now it's kind of hard to put myself back in the perspective I was watching it for the first time, because I saw it on Thursday night of the opening IMAX show. And I didn't know anything about the bow, or I didn't know about the Odyssey in general. So it's not like I was comparing Epic to the Odyssey. I just went in blind, and it was great, and I loved it. And as I processed it more and listened to other people critique it, I was like, yeah, it's maybe a 4 out of 5 for me, but I still liked it. And
it was still good.
I would watch it over Oppenheimer. And I didn't love Oppenheimer. Yeah. People liked Oppenheimer and I didn't. It's the flip flop for me. People seem to be the hard part that I really hate. And I think I said this with Steven. I don't like polar opposites. I don't like people saying this is the worst movie ever. There's plenty of things that are worse than this, including like Madam Web. I just shared a clip from Madam Web or a bunch of clips in the Discord. This is not the worst movie ever made. It has its faults, but it's not bad. And then the other part of it is the political aisle. I do dislike how Critical Drinker has approached it. All of his cronies, Mahler, and I know there's more, but they just see it as the movie that has Elliot Page and Lupita Nyong'o cast in it. That's all they see it as. And yes, there's some poor writing and there's some poor pacing, but that's just all they see. And then when the movie does well, they make it political. And then when the people who lean left see that it's doing well, they're like, hey, look, this isn't all about race. Like, I don't care about that. I don't want to make the movie about that. It's not about, so I can go on about that. I think saying that it's good, saying that it succeeded because there's twisting on both ends. People will say it succeeded because those two characters weren't in it all that much, and then people will say that it's not that popular, not that good because it's woke. And I'm like, it's neither. It's just a movie.
Yeah. I'd
anyway,
say it's successful because it's Christopher Nolan, and he has probably one of the strongest director following of all the directors out there. Like, people who see Christopher Nolan smacked on top of a movie, they're like, I'm gonna go watch that one because I just really like Christopher Nolan. It's a good movie if you can look past quite a few things. Writing and stuff wise, I don't think it's horrible. It just doesn't have much character.
Not at all. Yeah.
I think somebody pointed out that, and the title of this episode has Nolan fallen off, and I think somebody pointed out that since his brother stopped writing for him, and Nolan's been writing his own movies, it's kind of fallen out. Like, the peak was Dark Knight, Interstellar, Inception, The Prestige. Like, I don't remember the years of those, but I believe he wasn't fully the only writer for those movies, and that's after that happened. And Jonathan went to work on Westworld or whatever. It kind of not tanked. They're still successful, but like Dunkirk was the first kind of meh one, I think. Zach, I'm sorry I've cut you off a number of times.
Well, I wouldn't say Nolan's fallen off at all. I still think like the Odyssey and Oppenheimer are still very well-made films that I would argue are like better made than a lot of the films being made in Hollywood over the past couple of years. So
it's true.
I think
that's true.
Falling off is a bit of a exaggeration.
It gets the clicks.
It gets the clicks, I guess, but I don't. Yeah, it's and I guess just talking about my opinion of the Odyssey and how it's shifted, I think it was just weird for me, like being a Nolan film and like with as well received as it was weird for me like not to at least give it 4.5 stars just because of how everyone else was reacting to it. But
yeah,
I was just kind of like, it was okay. I mean, it is impressively made. Like the practical effects, really well done. The Cyclops, everything, just how they did all that practically, really cool. But also, I just like didn't get as much oomph from it, if that makes any sense.
There were moments, like I believe. I would argue
there were moments,
but the whole the movie as a whole, like The Dark Knight, is different.
Yeah, or like Interstellar. It's just and I went into this having listened to Epic already, and I think there's just so much more life in that, and I think I'd still rather listen to that than watch the Odyssey movie. Yeah. So that's why I'm excited for the Epic movie to be coming out in, I think, a couple of years. But
yeah, the animated movie, I believe.
Yeah, animated. And it's funny too with my ranking, because at the time, like my top 3 were like Project Hail Mary, Toy Story 5, and Sheep Detectives. And I felt very weird at the time putting it behind Toy Story 5 and Sheep Detectives. But then I was like, you know what? That's how I feel, so I'm gonna put it there.
Yeah.
So now it's my number 5 technically. Now that Spider-Man's come out, but still behind Sheep Detectives.
I think where the Odyssey
muted. I didn't realize I was
shined,
muted. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think where the Odyssey shined was
Odyssey shines down by the seashore.
The Odyssey shine was in like standalone scenes, like the I really liked the Cyclops scene. That
I did not
really.
We'll get into that in a moment, but
I thought that they did a really good job of hiding the mystery of not ever showing the full Cyclops, which kept a little bit like the filming and the strategy as to like make sure that the Cyclops was ugly, gross, and something to be like stayed away from. I was on the edge of my seat for that scene. And then I also really liked the final battle scene. A little unrealistic because you wouldn't have like spears in or arrows in you and still fighting, but I thought it was better standalone. Oh my goodness,
right. Annika just arrived from
What's up, Annika?
From Branson. Anyways, somebody take these and give your like 1 2 minute few minute thoughts of the Odyssey.
Can I have a chair?
You can sit, I suppose. I'll be over here.
That's allowed.
This is fun.
Okay. The women are taking over.
Oh gosh, this is actually. I'm not actually sure what I have to say.
Okay.
Is Annika wearing a Chiefs shirt?
She is. She's not a Chiefs fan, I promise. She just found it.
Dang.
Audacity. I already checked. I don't know what's been said though.
Oh, Zach didn't like the.
He hasn't said anything of worth, so it's okay. Whatever you say.
I can talk about that then. I don't know.
What do you think of the pigs? That was weird.
Oh, the pigs, yeah.
When she went down the cliff.
That was
that was disturbing.
I mean, it was impressive.
Like, oh my gosh.
And also it was done practically, which makes it super cool.
It does. It does. It was just like kind of weird.
But I also didn't want to watch. I was kind of just like,
I don't know if she's listening to that.
It's like a car wreck. You can't look away, but you also want to, but don't want to.
Yeah.
How would you rank it? Like number of stars?
Stars, I don't know. I guess, yeah, you said 4. I take 4. I actually hated Oppenheimer, so compared to Oppenheimer, this was like top tier, but it was so long, and like the last hour could have been cut out, and it didn't need to be rated R, and yeah, I have a lot of beef with that. Like they could have done a good job, and then yeah, it's fine. Anyway, I actually don't have a lot of new thoughts. I really like Epic, and Seth said he wouldn't listen to it until after, so now I'm glad he's listening.
Well, I was gonna ask Annika as she maybe grabs the headphones.
Well, I was gonna say I actually appreciate having a visual for it because, like, yeah, I read the book forever ago and I don't really remember it that much. But then having them close enough that like Epic's popping off and then the Odyssey comes out, it's really cool to like. I've seen edits of putting the music to the movie and it's fun.
Yeah. Well, and I was gonna ask, does the edits of the movie with the musical mean that Epic should be a movie, or that
I think they should make Epic into an animated.
Well, they are.
movie. Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
But
That'll make it cool.
Like, which is the better one holding the other up? Is it?
I don't know. I think Epic is holding the Odyssey up for sure. That's probably a thing. Is like the hype for the Odyssey has come, and then Nolan making a movie. It's like, oh, we have visuals for that super cool musical. So now I'm starting to like take mine back. I'm like, maybe it's a 3. Maybe it's not that good. I just like the story. I don't know. All right, Annika's gonna have her thoughts.
I don't even know if you need headphones. They're not gonna talk.
Okay. Hi, friends. How are you?
Hello.
Good, Annika.
Josh, are you married yet?
Not yet.
Okay, I couldn't remember if that had happened yet. Or not.
Give me 27 days and I'll be there.
27
days.
Yay! Oh my gosh, that's great.
He's not counting.
I'm not at all.
Here's my thing. I think I need to see it again. Because we saw it in IMAX, but we were a little too close and also off to the side.
Same.
So I feel like I got a little lost, especially in the action, just because the screen was a little warped, and then it was so bright and so loud that I was just like, So I honestly kind of want to watch it on a normal screen without the IMAX to just get more of like the story. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, as far as like Christopher Nolan movies in general, it's definitely not my favorite, but I definitely walked out like really hyped. I don't know. My one friend was like literally running around and he was like, I feel like I have to kill someone right now. And we were like, calm down. So yeah, I don't know. There were a lot of moments that I feel like Epic does better because it's a little more approachable, like between the themes of the music and like how the kind of flow of things.
It's very linear anyways.
I'd like to know, were you able to track with the plot, not knowing the story, and with it being told out of order? Because I was like, if I didn't know how it actually is told linearly, I don't know if I would have been able to track.
No, I get it because the part with Charlize Theron, Calypso, is I understood it because I'm such a big fan of The Prestige, and The Prestige does that where it's like present and then the flashbacks are remembering the past. So I got that because not even the flashbacks. Oh man. Excuse me, I gotta change my battery. Look at my face.
You're stepping on it.
We're crashing here. I didn't find that a problem, but I understand how it could be a problem.
I mean, compared to a lot of the other films, this one is again very linear.
Is Will talking? Will's talking.
You will in 30 seconds.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, now he's talking. Yapping.
They don't look like they're talking anymore. Anyways,
What
was the other thing? The Epic is linear, and then it's more accurate to the original source material. And the other thing I was going to say was the not suspension of disbelief. Just creativity. The personal when you're listening to something you don't have the visual, you kind of can put visuals to it, and people have done that with animatics and stuff. But when it's a movie, it's so much more definitive of this is what it is. There's not much room for interpretation.
I think that also makes it more emotional too. Like I would say Epic is a whole lot more emotional, and the sound design on Epic is just incredible. Michael and I love listening to it. When I was in my other car and I had a subwoofer going too, and I had like a crazy sound system, it was incredible to listen to. But Michael and I, when we were watching the Odyssey, it was kind of like, is it because we have bad seats? But I just wasn't a huge fan of the sound design. I think they had a story that has tons and tons of epic stuff happening to it, pun intended. And they didn't utilize the sound design to the best of their ability like they did in Interstellar and Inception. The sound design in those movies are incredible. Whereas in the Odyssey, I felt a little underwhelmed during the battle scenes. I felt a little underwhelmed when they were trying to use silence in a strategic way, which Nolan is great at, where it would be quiet, and then that quiet would be louder than anything else. but he didn't really nail it with the sound design, which didn't really pull me into the story.
You think so?
Which didn't make me feel for the characters, which Michael and I both agree that there isn't a ton of character in the movie. There's good story, but you don't really get much development. You just get kind of trial after trial after trial, and then at the end he's triumphant. Like it didn't really feel like there was any change. There wasn't any kind of relatability between anyone other than, hey, it's really scary. I don't know if my dad's coming home, or I want to get home, or when's my husband getting here? Like that's pretty much the only feeling that's going on throughout the entire film, and I don't really get pulled into the doubt or pulled into the uncertainty. I just feel a little bit disconnected.
Yeah, that's interesting because I found like the sound actually not to be as bad. Sorry, backing you up.
I was going to say, here's my thing too. I just think Jorge Rivera brings so much energy and passion to the role of Odysseus, and Matt Damon just doesn't do that. And that's just like, I mean, that's beyond just like Odyssey. That's just like not his type of role to be very passionate and bold like that. But
that's also Nolan's thing though as well. Like I'm gonna be to kind of critique a lot of Nolan films. He's kind of always has his films are always very dark, always kind of like that more realistic, and have like very kind of like not always emotionally blank, but just kind of that more of a type of a person. He's kind of like his protagonist, or whatever, which is fine for certain films. But I think in general, the Odyssey doesn't mesh as well. That's one thing I didn't like in the Odyssey. Is like, I mean, this is cool and everything, see like certain interpretations of it, but it's also just kind of there's a lot of stuff like this is an epic, and it's kind of underwhelming in a lot of cases. But like we can get more into that, but I think that's kind of a Nolan thing in general. It's just like how the characters, they're just like
Josh, I just realized we have
Go ahead.
I just realized we have a third person in the chat.
Yeah, Michael joined.
Catherine joined.
Catherine joined, yeah.
Anyways.
To answer someone in chat, they were asking if it was like I forget who asked. I apologize to the one of the 33% of you. They were asking if it was like a reimagined kind of like Hercules did with Disney, or if it was like a recreation. From what I know of the original book that I haven't read in 15 years, basically, it was pretty much as close as you could possibly be without, like with a Nolan timeline, right? They fit almost everything in from what I remember. I can't think of anything that they missed.
I think they hit pretty much all the big stuff. Yeah,
Zach knows.
Zach.
I've never read the Odyssey, but I just wanted to get back to talk about why I didn't like the Cyclops scene. And this is about.
Oh yeah, like
say your piece.
Well, it was just so overly simplified from what I know of that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like the nobody thing.
Yeah.
The nobody thing.
Exactly. Yes, that
is
I will.
So iconic, and it should not have been cut. Because also, the whole thing with it is that, at first he says he's nobody, but then at the end he reveals himself as Odysseus to the Cyclops, which is why Poseidon knows who he is.
Yeah, sure.
So,
the entire
which is just kind of like
gods.
Yeah, there's no Poseidon.
I'm saying Poseidon is kind of what we imagine a god is, in not a person. I mean, I have my own thoughts on the reality of it, but in the movie, it's kind of just a force, and that's unfortunately how we think of Yahweh sometimes. But in this form, it's like it's an all-seeing God who just happens to only control water or the ocean. And then when he sees that his son, which wasn't, I guess they did yell it. I think they were like, it's Poseidon's son or something. And then eventually they got pummeled with all the rain. So,
well, again, I think that's one of the big problems with this in general. Is like, I think when we first heard that Nolan was going to do this, I was skeptical about it because, again, the Odyssey, I think Nolan's a great director. I think that's part of the reason this film did so well is because of name brand recognition. But I don't think he was, I still stand by it, I don't think he was particularly suited to do an adaptation of the Odyssey because it doesn't lend itself towards a realistic and particularly no one likes to like timey-wimey weird twists, which is great, but I don't think again it doesn't quite work as well. There's a way you could do it, and he kind of did it, but it's just. And then again, like the thing for like the nobody thing too is that the character of Odysseus has like no real character arc. Really, like he just basically has like, oh, I'm sad. What do I kind of remember? Oh, now I remember. Oh, and like that's his whole thing. Like, but the character of Odysseus in the original epic, the whole point is that he's like a trickster. He's kind of a feisty guy. He keeps getting himself into scrap, but he also uses his cleverness to get himself out of that. But the point of the nobody scene is to show that his hubris and that he's the one who kidnapped his men. And like you could actually have like the fact that they cut it out makes his character like just kind of flat, and like his whole character arc is like we was bad guys and stuff because we caused Troy to fall through deception, like which is not very appealing. And I get more into that later. But
William, it really hurts to listen to you right now, not because of your voice, just because of your microphone. Josh, I didn't realize you were reading chat.
Yeah, that's what I do when I turn around. I'm reading chat.
Funny. I thought you were like looking at yourself.
No, I've got a big mirror for that. I'm conceited, not on the live stream.
Okay.
Is this any better, by the way?
Yes, much better.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible.
Okay, then I just switched that. Sorry.
All right, Zach.
William,
Sorry,
Zach.
Here's what I heard someone say: Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is like an atheist interpretation of the Bible.
I like that.
Exactly. Yes, because it's because that's the problem. That's again the problem with that is that Nolan is trying to apply a 21st century understanding to a pre-Christian historic pagan view. Which there's something you can do with that, but like it's just his whole thing of like the gods as like metaphysical forces. Also, they're just kind of like mental. They're just actually representations of mental illness and all that, or not mental, like your psyche, like that. That's such a 21st century thing that just doesn't mesh well. I don't think. And the other thing too is, the other thing about the Odyssey I noticed is that like everything is like you can just tell that Nolan really didn't want to have any magical elements in it. Like I can just tell, but like he basically had to be dragged out to like allowing some mythological elements, like with Circe, the Cyclops. But like there's no real gods present at all. There's none of like the designs for all the creatures there. They're all very super realistic looking. Like
William,
Cyclops is very gray. Sorry.
Your microphone is garbage again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You did make a good point with Odysseus' character being a little bit flat. One of the things that I love in Epic is when he gets back to Penelope and he's like, how I've killed and I've done way too much. I'm not the husband you once married. And that is something that I love in the Epic. And I can speak for a lot of other fans, Michael, that we all really like that aspect of the character. Odysseus getting back and feeling like he's not going to be able to take his kingdom back, or he's like he gets back and he's just back into a cunning state, and then it doesn't feel like there's any sort of like hardship as to reuniting, feeling like I'm here but I'm not who I was 20 years ago. I've killed and I've made sacrifices that I shouldn't have made. I've been only selfish to get here, and I don't think you would love me anymore. And Epic has such a beautiful way of redoing that, or like building that up and then saying like having like a climax there, but also climax with killing the suitors. You know, like it's a duel. It just hits so much harder.
Yeah.
And the Odyssey just didn't do that.
Yeah. And I think
Where is he? Where is Odysseus? Where is he?
Where's Odysseus?
The thing people have said is that
for that
Matt Damon never really seems to want to get home. That's kind of the problem. He's kind of he's not driven as Odysseus was. Zach, I heard you inhale. I didn't have a. Maybe not.
No, I just hiccuped.
Okay.
Sorry.
So as it comes to the story, I think Zach. I mean, you didn't come up with that, but how was Odysseus? You didn't come up with the interpretation of the Odyssey, but it makes sense, and it, in some way, like why is everybody so upset that they didn't get the gods right and the mythology part of the Odyssey right when we're also so atheistic as a society? we live in a society.
Because it's a pivotal book in the canon of Western civilization. That's partially why.
Yeah.
Also culture war issues as well.
Yeah. I know we can keep coming back to it, but I reposted something in the live chat Discord. It's an edit that I found, and I really want to talk about this before we're done. And I know maybe we'll go a little late. I found the idea that Nolan has made a reverse trilogy with Tenet, Oppenheimer, and the Odyssey. And if you want a bit of an explanation, go look at the last thing I posted in the live chat was an edit of how, if you instead watch the Odyssey, Oppenheimer, and Tenet, that it's a reverse trilogy where the idea of Zeus's law, however accurate it is to the book, just take it as the movie or the poem, the idea of Zeus's law is basically do unto others as you would have them do to you. Very biblical. And I like that when I first heard it. I don't know how accurate that is to mythology. Explain, like the idea of Zeus's law or Zeus's law existing.
Zeus, it's not like do unto others.
I know it's not that exactly, but when I heard it, I thought of that.
There's ancient guest rights. That's what the Odyssey is. But he's basically applying the golden rule.
Oh, the golden rule
from the Christian context. And he's basically throwing that into the past. But there was historically guest rights, which is part of the point of the Odyssey, is that his suitors are violating guest rights, and he's in the right actually for massacring them.
Regardless, the idea of that is is explained in the Odyssey, and he gets all torn up about being the opposite of that, and the reason he got caught up in this whole adventure was because he didn't treat Troy right, basically. And I don't know how that sat with me eventually, but again, the idea of that going into Oppenheimer, where Oppenheimer kind of deals with the same thing, realizing that if he takes this step of war, of violence, of all of this unknown that could happen with this atomic bomb, how does that affect everyone else? And then at the end of that movie, he's like, we've just ignited the atmosphere like we wanted, or like we expected, but not literally. And then it ends with like the earth being engulfed in fire, but that's just the idea of war and how he contributed to that. And then Tenet even references Oppenheimer, and how the nuclear holocaust is not the worst thing, but it's really the inversion of time, and how people just do things without anyone else caring. Oppenheimer was caring. He was doing this for his country, but he wasn't caring about the people he grieved the people that were affected by this. But in Tenet, the people in the future are just, they want Seder to end the timeline, to basically have time fold in on itself, and not care about the people in the middle. They just care about themselves in the future. So that's basically how I understand Tenet. And when you put it into perspective of these three other movies, I think it makes sense. It may not have been intentional, or it may have been. It's about as big of a stretch as our cinematic universe, but I think it has some feet to stand on.
Mm-hmm. Well, and one kind of big final thing I'll mention about that is that's part of the reason I don't like the Odyssey, because the original story of the Odyssey is basically nostalgia, a guy's quest to get home, which anybody can relate to. I don't like the modern Odyssey because it's like this glazing. There's a part of me that who sticks to my rural roots, and whenever some like I am annoyed with overbearing intellectualism, where it's like, oh my gosh, it's this reinterpretation. Don't you see that actually we are the Trojans, bro? We're like actually like we're like destroying rights is like gonna like cause the end of like civilization, bro. Like, oh, it's so deep. That annoys me. And I kind of felt that at the end. I was like, what are we talking about here? So that just annoyed me. And compared to like Oppenheimer, I think that works better, where it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, dear God above, have mercy on us, because what have we unleashed? That makes sense. In Troy, in the Odyssey, it's like, no, what? Like, we are the sea people. Like, we destroyed the city through unscrupulous warfare somehow, even though all warfare is kind of unscrupulous, and then that like causes a mental psychic thing that's going to cause the end of our age of bronze. There's basically things about it that I'm just like, if you take, I think the Odyssey, like, it has really good scenes. Like I really liked the scene where like the tension was building, where are they going to get the gate open? Are they going to get like I was really hooked on it. I think it's a lot of very good scenes, but if you put them together, it's just the story's like I feel bad and now our civilization is ending and something yada yada. And it's just more like mumbo jumbo and like intellectual mumbo jumbo that I just find annoying more than anything. That's trying to be deep. I feel like it wasn't, and that's I think kind of like the main critique of the Odyssey. Like it is a good technically made film, but just like if you put it all together, what, It's just, I just don't really care for the main message of it because it's just kind of weird.
I think what would have just added miles to the depth of the story is just simple scenes put in between each major event, whether it be the Cyclops, whether it be Calypso, or whether it be something, rather than it being like a flashback to Calypso. It be something about the good times when Odysseus was back at home. I had no idea that there would be good times when he got back. You know, I had no hope throughout the whole thing. I just wanted to see an end to suffering. I didn't have hope for a better day, you know, or an actually good day. Like if we were to just see him in his relationship with Penelope, or just have some sort of idea that there was a connection there, or there was a home. I feel like it was just him going back to be a king again, you know. I didn't feel, because I couldn't relate to anything about being a king.
Yeah. But
I'm a
also
car salesman. I have no relation. None whatsoever.
I'm thinking about the one edit, and it's so easy to just get a scene and put it over the Odyssey or the Epic, over Epic. But having him defeat all the suitors and then walk up to Penelope and hand her the pin, and then the Penelope or whatever the notes are. I've only listened to it like twice. That hits because you have the visuals paired with the emotion that you know from Epic. I think that's what's key in those edits, and it just shows how good Epic is. Even though some people have gripes with how Epic is, the majority of people like it.
Yeah. Did you guys ever? Well, I just remembered recently there were heavy rumors for a while that seemed pretty reliable, that Robert Downey Jr. was approached to play Poseidon.
That would have been weird. So, I just know RDJ kind of has his saunter that he does, that he's just kind of brings to every role. Yeah. And I don't like that. I mean, go ahead.
I don't think there was that kind of saunter in Oppenheimer, but
sure. He can tone it. He can draw it in.
So I wonder if there was a version of the Odyssey with more of the gods, but they somehow, or for some reason, scrapped that for one reason or another.
I think Nolan, just because of who he is, he just probably very begrudgingly, because Athena could either be interpreted as Odysseus's guilt. So I think that's just more of a Nolan thing again. Like the point of an atheist trying to interpret the Bible, I think is kind of accurate in this sense. Something like that, who's having struggled to do it. Which another thing that's I think is interesting though about the finale though that Josh is talking about. I really want to watch it now to compare it. But there is I know recently there was actually a movie by Ralph Fiennes, called The Return, which is just about Odysseus's return. I think that'd be interesting to compare that, and if it captures more of that emotional. Because I think from what I hear it does, but I don't know. But I think that's just the main flaw is I just kind of don't really care too much, and just if you put the story together, it's the other thing too is I think Nolan really works best in certain circumstances, because if he likes to do the twist, it's just it makes sense. But at the end of the Odyssey, what's the twist? We are the sea people. I mean, that's just not that much of a compelling twist. The Prestige, oh my gosh, I got to rewatch it. I just don't really care to rewatch it because it's just they're the sea people.
It has rewatch value, but not as a whoa rewatch, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like I would rewatch it out of curiosity to see if there's anything I missed, but I think I got pretty much everything that I wanted out of the movie the first time watching. So a average movie that I would go and watch, nothing crazy. Odyssey just a little bit above that, but Epic is still way up here, you know? Epic in any edit that you see with it, with the music, we're so fond of Epic that it pulls the Odyssey up a couple points, just because of how great that one was made. Still a good movie, worth a rewatch, but definitely something that I would collect as a CD, put it on my shelf, and it'd collect a little dust.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably never gonna rewatch it because it's 3 hours, and I hate 3-hour movies in general.
That's
especially Nolan films.
That's also
like,
super fair.
Drag so long. Oh my gosh.
I would rather rewatch like Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit if I was gonna go watch a 3-hour movie.
Weren't some people saying that this was gonna be as good as Return of the King, or is that a different movie that I'm thinking of?
It was probably this one, to be honest. But
wasn't that what's his face being super cocky about Avatar?
James
about
Cameron?
Avatar?
Or Avatar? I don't remember
Like
anyone talking
Avatar,
about that.
like the
James
new
Cameron?
Avatar movies. James
I don't
Cameron.
remember anyone saying there was gonna be.
I still haven't seen Fire and Ash, so
I just remember him saying.
I haven't seen any Avatar movies.
Oh my gosh.
I just remember James Cameron saying, like, yeah, go ahead, go to the bathroom. You can go ahead and just watch that scene the next time you see it in theaters. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Okay. I do want to talk a little bit about it being IMAX completely, or completely shot for IMAX 70mm. I wonder if that, not to say that it took away from the experience, because anyone who goes to the IMAX showing comes out raving, or the 70mm. Because I technically saw it in IMAX, but that's fake IMAX. Anyways, there's the moments in movies that it switches to IMAX, whether that's Interstellar, in space, or The Dark Knight. I think The Dark Knight had the truck chase being IMAX, and then everything else was normal. But things like that, or even The Hunger Games when she's underground and then she's going up the tube into the arena, and that like the cool black bars turn into IMAX like that. Everyone loves that. But I wonder if that switch isn't there because everything is the same. It's still like you get massive horizons, but it's just weird. I'd be interested in knowing the difference, and I would be interested in seeing the IMAX in regular aspect ratio, because I don't know how it frames differently.
Honestly, I've never noticed the difference between any of them. They just all look fancy to me. So,
Michael says, I honestly thought that the twist was Athena being beheaded at Troy. Is that true? And Zeus is like, well, it wasn't Athena being beheaded. Athena took on the form of the young girl, however old Zendaya is, being beheaded at Troy. And then she just solemnly looked at Odysseus to make him remember her, and made the face that Zendaya always makes of.
Yeah, well, it's the insinuation is that like at the end, like, oh my gosh, they cut off the head of Athena, like, wow, like, don't you get like the metaphor, like actually like, beheaded the priestess, like it's like a manifestation of his psyche, because like whenever Athena is with him, like no one else sees it, and like so the implication is that he's basically like imagining this person who's a personification of his guilt. Again, very much like a 21st century person viewpoint of that, which is fine for some films, but again, I don't think for a mythological one like this one it works as well.
I don't think it worked well. Yeah.
That's all you have to say about your fiance's question?
Thanks for the question, Michael.
I'm just prodding. Okay. What else? I mean, this was a big movie, like.
Someone get these baggers out of here.
Robert Pattinson was really good in that film. Was really good, I will say.
Robert Pattinson is giving us memes left and right, with the beggars meme, with the
you know how this looks, right?
Yeah, the what's it called?
Primetime
trailer. Even he's great. I think that. Sorry, I'm back to the Odyssey because that's what the episode's about. I'm thinking about how each of the actors did. Zendaya was Zendaya. Everybody kind of criticizes her. Zach is tired. Zendaya is Zendaya because she's just kind of staring there, not really any emotion. Robert Pattinson and Anne Hathaway, I think, did a really great job. We talked about Matt Damon. Yeah, Matt Damon was kind of meh, and Tom was actually pretty good, I think.
Probably good.
Mostly because at the end he yelled, and I like when actors yell, because that really shows. It can be a cop out, but I think he did it well. He's like, "This, what is it? This feast is over." BTS for the movie is already out. I didn't know that, and I mean they got to promote it a little bit, and they've had a lot of like they had I think it's like guy with a movie camera or something on set and seeing how things worked and all that. But
John Bernthal was John Bernthal.
He unfortunately either they filmed "Let Me Tell You Something" and they cut it.
Let me tell you something.
Or he said it in a old English version, not even old English. It was pretty modern. That was the problem with a lot of it, which I want to ask you about. And people are trying to figure out what he actually said. Like, is it technically a "Let me tell you something"? But I don't think it's it. But do you guys think that the modern English was a problem for the movie or not? Because we already talked about how this adaptation is kind of a modern telling of it, even though it happened back then. Like, I picture it as though, Josh a little bit, but Will and I were in little Pine County theater. Dipstick Nowheresville theater show where we couldn't cast everybody exactly, but we rewrote some stuff because of our casting. And then it's not the original story, but nobody cares because they understand that we have limited casting when we're in the middle of Minnesota.
But that's the difference, though, is like that is a changes based off of circumstances. Nolan has, and he can do whatever he wants in his film. So that's true. And I would say for like the modern English wasn't too bad, but like there's just a couple things where it just takes you out. You're like what? Sorry, that just like. And the thing is, like, you don't have to sound like pretentious or anything, but like there's just a way of like doing it where like, you feel like you're drawn into this world. Like, this is like a different time. This is a different place and a story I'm entering into. Like using that vernacular is just
not as much for
it does pull you out, because that's the whole thing. Is like it's a suspension of disbelief, and that does pull you out, I think. It wasn't like the worst thing, but it just didn't help.
I feel like Nolan's
go ahead go crazy.
Nolan's explanation made sense to me with it. How like the original story wouldn't be in the original Odyssey poem wasn't in Old English. So it's like, I think modern English almost like works better. There were a couple things that were weird to me as well, but I think it works better just to have that connection with the audience instead of just, because I feel like sometimes with formal language, it's hard to actually like connect with the language, or with Old English, it's hard to connect with the characters. So
but
I think it worked. It worked for me.
But the thing is, where do you draw the line then? Because, for example, the musical score, he very intentionally didn't use modern instruments because, like, they wouldn't have they wouldn't have had them at that time, that's great. I think he actually did a really good job.
It's creative choice
with the musical score. But if you're gonna say no, we have to be super accurate with the musical part, but like the historical actor casting part or the language part, like, okay, so why is it those things? And we all know why, because of modern stuff. But like, I'm just saying, like, if he's gonna play that game, then okay, well, then why do you care so much about how the music sounds to make it authentic?
Yeah. Well, I will say when it comes to the casting, we didn't want to harp on this too much, but I thought it was funny, specifically when Himesh Patel, who plays Euryclides, I think they were landing on land and going to people who were living there, and he's like going, we're Greeks. And I'm like, yeah, right, buddy. He's like, you do not look Greek. But it was just funny that it happened to be his character saying that. I do. Are we gonna have two Zachs here?
There's two Zachs. They're multiplying.
Zach's back.
Oh no!
I don't know.
Guys,
how this
it's Zach
The Zackening is happening.
We have two Zachs.
Am I sideways? I'm not sideways,
Yes,
am I?
I'm gonna kick one of you, and I think it's the right one. There we go. Oh, you just left. Okay, perfect. You're fine. Anyways, I think that was a funny moment that I'm not getting caught up on. Nope. Now you're vertical sideways.
It won't let me rotate the other way.
Yeah, it doesn't. Remember, Steven was like that last week. So
weird.
Okay. Anything else? We do need to wrap up here. Agamemnon was aura farming
the entire time. He's
gone.
To be fair, he was like, my favorite part was in like when they go to the underworld, like he doesn't even like walk in, he like floats in.
I know, he floats. That was
all I was
funny.
imagining was like, you know like those little, like, what are they called, like where you can just, they're like the wheels on the sides, you like
They're called hoverboards.
I just imagine him have that's what he had. That's how he's just floating around places. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's so funny. I noticed that. That was hilarious. I don't know where Zach went, but I did like it I did like the movie as a whole. For my first experience with the Odyssey, I do think that the Epic still tops out in experience for the story, the original story. And it's much more quotable, I think. I do love the moments of the Odyssey with the bow. Like the bow had me like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Because I think that was a good setup and payoff, honestly.
Here comes Odysseus with the iron bow.
But I think that that Epic is more quotable and lives rent free in our minds. When does a man become a monster? All that. Anyways, final thoughts. Let's wrap it up.
Zach.
One of my favorite movie facts from the past couple of years is that the actor who plays King Agamemnon also plays Bowser Jr. in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. and I think that's really funny.
Yeah, same. It's the same time.
Benny Safdie.
Also, yeah, I'm looking at.
He's also an Oppenheimer.
I know, and
man's had faith, trust, and pixie dust.
He was in Good Time with Robert Pattinson, which I need to watch that. It's a smaller movie that people really like. Apparently, he's known for directing too.
Yeah, he did. Either him or his brother did Smashing Machine, which was the Dwayne Johnson one from.
Most of his film most known for his film collaborations with his eldest brother Josh in Heaven Knows What and Good Time. So, yeah, I suppose Good Time. I suppose he made Good Time. So.
And I think just to wrap up for me, the only thing is I'd say that again, the Odyssey isn't. It's not bad, but it's like a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 at most. It's just kind of mad to me. And I think it doesn't. The main problem is like it's not that story for Nolan isn't his style. I don't think it was never going to be that great for him to adapt anyways. And I think just like the whole story taken together was just kind of. It doesn't quite get, I think, the nature of the original story compared to, example, for Odyssey, like the Epic. I think Epic is deliberately a reinterpretation or a reimagining of the Odyssey, which gives it a bit more leeway in certain ways, but it kind of captures more of the core essence, ironically, than I think Nolan's Odyssey does. Which I think is kind of like its main crutch.
I think some people have said that the reason Nolan doesn't resonate with people a lot is because he writes himself into the main character. And that can be cool in things like Inception, where he is experiencing the story as Cobb, the director, and then everyone around him is the set designer, the costume department, the story writer. That's how the team in Inception works. And that works because it's a meta narrative on filmmaking. But I don't think that works for every movie, and that's where some people have felt this disconnect. If that makes sense.
It does.
Sweet.
Josh, I didn't know if Josh gave his final thoughts.
I think my only final thought is kind of saying back to what I said earlier. Average movie. Odyssey still like above average on movies.
It's above. Yeah, I will say that.
It's above average for sure. But then Epic still way up here, and it pulls the Odyssey up because of how awesome Epic is, and Epic is just so much better. If I were wanting to have a recreation or like enjoy the story of the Odyssey, I would probably just binge listen to Epic.
Yeah.
Rather than watching the Odyssey.
It is so much harder to try and. Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
We've been streaming this whole thing on my personal account.
Whoa.
Sorry, everybody. I hope you. I mean, obviously they found it. Dang it. All right. Cool. Anyways. What were you saying?
Here's a good question to end the episode. Was Christopher Nolan the right director to direct the Odyssey?
No.
To just sum up everything, no?
No. We've said this at the start again. His style is darker, grittier, realistic. That does not lend itself to a mythological, kind of a little bit over the top, pre-paganistic historical mythology.
Okay.
I just realized I'm not. I was logged into. Never mind. Doesn't matter. We're fine. Forget I said anything.
Michael has texted me a very good point that I like, kind of as a final thought to bring it to scripture too. Talking about scripture that is about here. When we hurt widows, we are also hurting Jesus. In the same way, when Odysseus was killing women and children, he was also hurting Athena. War is supposed to have rules and boundaries to it, but they were breaking those. And,
which that's true. Again, the Athena's thing is like not about charity. I think the problem is, again, because like in the original context, the Greeks don't really care about human rights. So but then again, like that's it's interesting though, because I've heard some people say like, oh, this is actually like a Trojan horse or whatever, and like and there's like a really interesting interview that a Chinese person was asking Christopher Nolan like if he is Christianizing the Odyssey, which I think is very accurate, whether he realizes it or not, because he is imparting a post-Christian ethic into a pre-Christian mythology. Because a Greek hero, for example, is defined by achieving something that has never been done before, or achieving greatness. Greatness does not mean good. So you can be most Greek heroes are not good role models, but for the Greeks, like, it doesn't matter because they're achieving greatness. They're defying the gods, and most of the time they're dying. But every now and then they do something that's no one's done before. That's Odysseus, and that's hard to adapt, I think, in any circumstance. But there's like sort of a way you can do it. But like just the way he went about it is interesting in that sense, where he is trying to apply a Christian framework without actually having any Christian background on it, or he's trying to apply Christian morals without a Christian framework, I guess you could say. Yeah. Because if in that world it wouldn't matter, like the gods are cruel and capricious, that's not going to matter. But that is interesting.
Zach has a finger.
I was just gonna say I hate to be that guy, but I can't. I hate to be that guy, but I kind of have to go. So. All
right. No, we were gonna finish up.
We're gonna wrap up. That would be great.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all for listening or watching. Share this with a friend. Let us know your thoughts on the Odyssey in Discord. And order your stickers that I still have somewhere. If you don't have one, they are free. Link in the description. Until next week, go to your left. God bless.
Peace out, brother.
Thanks for watching, Mom. And Elijah's mom.
All of you, go with courage.
Love you, Michael.